In this video, I want to show you how to work with a clasped weft. That's hard to say. Clasped, C-L-A-S-P-E-D, weft, W-E-F-T. It's a really neat technique for adding interest to your fabric, and it really works best with a little heavier yarns than what I have here today, but I'm still going to go ahead and show you the technique. Basically, what you're going to do is work with two colors. I have my white still, have a little bit of light blue on here. And I'm going to just throw one shot of this light blue to get it anchored into the material. And beat that down. Now, what I'm wanting to do is to create some interest in this material. So I'm going to take my original fabric yarn and I'm going to throw a shot through. Before I do that, here's a tail from that blue. I'm just going to wrap it around my last warp thread and tuck it in there and let it get beat in with everything else. Let it tuck toward the bottom, and that gives us less to weave in later. Okay, stay in there, guy. He's wiggly. Okay, so a clasped weft basically means that I'm going to clasp these two colors together, and I'm going to use them to create interest in my project. So I'm going to take my original, I'm going to throw it through. This shuttle is never going to leave my lap. It's just going to sit here in my lap, but every time I come over, I'm going to wrap my shuttle around that thread. I don't beat, I go back through, and now my two colors are holding hands. So I can pull them as far over or come back as much as I want. I'm going to come to where that black and red border changes. I've got a double. This actually creates your fabric twice as fast because I've got two strands of each one here. I'm going to beat that in. I'm going to throw it through again. Again, this blue just stays in my lap. I'm going to wrap my shuttle around, go back through without beating, and bring my clasp to wherever I want it to sit, and beat it down. See how that changes the look of your fabric? Instead of a plain weave, I've got a double strand weave, and I can change that color, make that color change anywhere on this warp that I want it to change. If I were, going to do this as something more than an example, I might just do a nice blue stripe all the way up that warp, that red warp. But I could take it to any spot here that I wanted to. A lot of people can create tapestry type pictures by using this technique. You can also create really nice curves in your fabric. If I started here and then my next thread I didn't pull over quite so far, I could start a curve that would go all the way to the edge of my border and just create a little rounded shape there. This is a great technique. It's not hard, and it adds a ton of interest in your fabric. The other thing I can do is I don't have to keep going with this blue. I can add a third color. I can, I can really grab anything I want to grab over here on the right side or on the left side, depending on where I put my second color, and I can create interest in my fabric, just like that. See how that's starting to curve that direction just by moving that over slightly every time I throw it through. Play around with that and see what you can create.